Okay guys, this is going to be the first YouTube video that I'm doing in a series where I kind of go through my personal life, everything that I'm doing, and try and follow me growing a social media platform, growing a social media brand, my own brand, going with Corbin Ray Smith, and really just showing you guys everything that I do in my daily life, the struggles and everything that I go through. And everything with that. So I don't necessarily know where to start in this whole thing, but especially in this video, but I do know last night I was up until 7 a.m. Just watching YouTube videos, just researching, creating different links. I made link trees, I made a Maxed account, I was researching how to start my own online fitness coaching, how to start making my own meal plans, stuff like that, and kind of making it to where I can create a sort of atmosphere around the gym, everything with that to further build my brand and stuff like that. So one of the big people I was watching was Alex Eubank. I say he's been one of my favorites for a long time. I mean, he started at a great time, but I mean he's done everything but for it. So I mean, if you watch a lot of his videos, he talks about the stuff you don't see behind the camera, stuff like that, and I mean there is a lot with that. So he's someone I'm definitely taking a lot from and learning from, and trying to use his information, which he puts out there just free of charge for anyone. So he does have some stuff like the inner circle you can go in and start going through, but I'm not in that, so I just gave him free publicity on that. But he's definitely someone that you can try and go for. And, you know, one of the hardest things he talked about is finding your niche. I don't know what my niche is. So I've got me, I'm a redneck, I've got my dog. He's in the kennel right now because he was going a little crazy. But we do have, him and I both got matching hoodies, so we both have some comfort. But I guess my niche is just me. I've got some ideas for kind of the content I want to do, stuff like that. I definitely want to be gym focused. I'm going to do a lot of day in the life, stuff like that. Probably today I'll end up going to the grocery store and then doing a grocery haul, stuff like that. Showing you guys how I eat, how I try and stay cheap, and then how I also try and get all the nutrients that you actually need, and everything that goes with that. But also with this channel, I'm going to be trying to show how I'm growing as not only a person, just as a man. So I've gone through a lot in my life, especially recently. So I've been homeless 4 different times in my life, and this last one I was homeless there for 2 weeks, living in a motel, sleeping on my buddy's couch, with Nash and I, my dog, just kind of trying to make it out. Some of them have been the fault of my own, others have been just out of control, bad timing, stuff like that. But that's one thing I'm trying to work on just in my daily life, general, everything, overall wellness, is trying to make it where I never feel that low again. I say, even right now, I don't feel great. I say, trying to come up with everything that's happened in my life and try and make it to where I can be someone people look towards for guidance, stuff like that. I've gone through a lot and I've seen a lot, so because of that, I've had to learn a lot. And I think that creates a good aspect for a lot of people to kind of go through and see what they're actually capable of. So last night I was watching a lot of Alex Eubank, and then also for mental and emotional support, I was watching a guy called Orion. I think it's Zadaban, something like that. His video popped up on TikTok showing how a man loses a woman, how a man messes up every time, and kind of the ideology and characteristics that men need to have going into talking to women, chasing a relationship, prolonging how that goes. And that was something that really spoke to me. That's one of the things I'm going through right now, just recently ending it with someone, and I don't even know what it was, but I was really attached, and I thought everything was the same on both sides. But after watching his videos, seeing stuff like that, I realized I pushed too hard. He goes through the concept of when a baby is born, he goes to his mother. The child goes out, comes back to the mother. The more that happens, they create a sense of confidence, stuff like that. But as soon as the child goes out and gets scared, they have to come back to the mother. So he takes that concept and applies it to relationships and everything with that. And it really just made sense to me, because in this entire time in this relationship or whatever it was, I was the child, and I just kept going back. I just kept going back, and I never gave time to breathe, because it works on both sides. If the mother's too crazy, it's going to drive the child away. If the child's too crazy, it's going to make resentment into the mother, as fortunate as it is. And that's especially now, the day and age we live in, where you have to consider all things with that. So that was definitely something that has helped me kind of grow with that. And I was going between Alex Eubank videos, trying to figure out how to grow my content, stuff like that, and then back to the Orion's videos to kind of help with my mental clarity. And I will say, just overall, his video has helped me make peace with a lot of it. There's the ideology of limerence, and that is definitely something I fall into as someone that hasn't had much support from family, anything like that. Limerence is kind of the relationship style that I have fallen into, where you just obsess about the person. They're all you think of, everything with that. So with this last relationship, even though we weren't hanging out, everything like that, we were texting. Every text message in my mind was just furthering this process, something like that. And I was trying to rush something that I should have tried to take slow. And that goes back to the gym, stuff like that. I mean, there's easy ways out of it, stuff like that. But it's the process of growing that really helps you grow as a man and helps you figure out what you want to do in life, where you can be with that, and just who you can actually be in the end of the outcome. And so just another thing with that, with me trying to grow as a man, everything with that, I've started reading the Bible. I'm going to pause there. Okay. I paused just to see if the video was still recording. I'm just going to post this, just back up both clips, not edit anything out, stuff like that, just completely raw. Yeah, I started reading the Bible that first day that I was homeless. I stayed on my buddy's couch. I loaded up a U-Haul trailer. Nash and I came up, stayed at my buddy's house. I started reading, and I made a promise to myself that I'm going to read from front to back. So I just finished Genesis, and I'm reading Exodus now. So Old Testament first, and I don't know what I've gathered out of it. So there's some stories. You can kind of see, it's weird to me as someone who grew up Christian but never really understood it, anything like that. I didn't gather the concept, but now I'm starting to see more of the stories and what they mean, kind of what they go through. There's the saying of God sends his toughest soldiers into the toughest battles, and for me, I think that's kind of where I'm at this point in life, is I've gone through all these different battles, all these different tribulations. I've gone through hate, through love, through fighting, through just trying to stay alive. I've spent most of my life, especially my adult life, just fighting to stay alive, whether that's through my own personal stuff or just everything that's happening around me. And I'll say now, the Bible and Jesus is just somewhere that, even if I don't necessarily fully understand it or fully believe in it right now, it's somewhere I can look to for hope and for guidance. Because right now it's just me. I say I have family, but I haven't talked to my parents in about 5-6 years. I haven't talked to my brother in a year over that. So I have my sisters, but because of that, with my parents, it's driven a gap between all of us to where I've been alone every single holiday. I've been alone with all of it. So having the Bible to turn to and the Lord has given me a sense of overall feeling with everything, that I can have some guidance, because that's something I've never had. I've never had that father figure guidance to look to. So I've always had to grow on my own. I've had to figure out how to do all of my own stuff. I had to figure out how to go to college. I had to figure out how to do my taxes. I had to figure out how to work on my truck, do all this stuff, which has made me strong as a man, which goes back to the God sends his toughest soldiers into the toughest battles. So for that aspect, I am grateful for what I have, because I know further down the road, when I do end up having a family, and I'm finally able to get rid of my limerence and take what Dr. Orion has kind of started preaching with everything, or what I finally started seeing him preach, is that I'll be the best version of myself. And that's something I've always worked towards, everything with it. I say every day I've tried to get better. I say I've had some rough patches. I've done a lot of stuff I regret. Been places I never should have been, stayed longer than I should have, and just been involved with people that I never should have ever been involved with. So this is the point for me, that whenever I did have it end with that last relationship, that I wanted a fresh start. I wanted a completely new experience. I have a couple people that I know in this new city where I can kind of count on them, stuff like that, but they're all busy doing their own stuff. They have their own lives. It's still only me. So for me, this is a completely new start. And this is allowing me to create the version of myself that I want to actually be. Because when I was in my last city, I tarnished my name. I did stupid shit. I wasn't good to myself. So when people think about me, they're not going to think of anything good. And so that's where I want to go now, is I want to build my name. I want to build my brand, and I want to build my face around the solitude of growth, that I want to be a better man. I want to help other people become better men. I want everyone to look at my videos, gain inspiration, whether that's mentally, whether that's physically through the gym, or whether it's through anything. I say it doesn't matter to me. I say if I can help anyone out, that's my goal in this. And I know I have. I say I get some DMs already now. I don't consider myself a big influencer at all. I don't consider myself an influencer at all. I've got less than 10,000 followers between every single one of my platforms. I've got like 6,500 on TikTok. I think I have 2 subscribers right now. So I'm talking to essentially no one. But I still get DMs. I still get messages. I have people, when I just play Xbox, people I don't really even know have come up to me just all over, whether I've been working, bartending, doing stuff, DMing, and they're like, dude, I love your videos. Like you're the TikTok guy. They're like, dude, I see your shit. Like, I've had people tell me, they're like, hey, it's really helped me out. They ask me questions about fitness, stuff like that. And that's never something I thought I could be. I graduated high school 125 pounds. I'm like 6'2", like 125 pounds with skin and bone. I looked like I was dying. I looked like I had an eating disorder. I didn't look healthy. I didn't look happy. I wasn't happy, and I wasn't healthy. I was going to the gym through all of it, but I didn't have the tools that I do now. I didn't have the mindset, the growth mentality. I didn't have the education that I have now for fitness and everything with it. I didn't go through those tough trials in my life yet. Now I have. So I'm 22 now. I'm getting ready to be 23 at the end of this year. And I just now, as soon as I moved into this apartment, actually feel like an adult, which is crazy to me because I've lived on my own since I've been 18. So my parents were charging me rent since I was 17. They charged me $600 a month just to live in my own house. I said, I've paid all my own bills. Since I got a job, I've been paying all my own bills. But it wasn't until now that I actually started feeling like an adult, which is insane. I still don't fully understand why, but it becomes a sense of openness. I went through that final trial when I essentially got kicked out of my apartment because of the last relationship, and that was the first time I've actually cried as a man, and I don't even know when. That was the lowest point of my entire life. I thought I was going to end all of it. I say I've had some really good friends. One of my best friends is studying psychology and therapy, and I talk to him pretty much every day. I say even yesterday before he went to bed, he was like, all right, he's like, well, you seem good. He's like, so I'm going to go to bed. So I have some really good people which have helped me grow as a man, because you can't just do it by yourself. You have to have other people. You have to have people to bounce your ideas off of, because otherwise you're just sitting there playing against the wall. You won't ever get better. So he's helped me out through a lot of it, but that was the lowest point I've ever been in my life, and I never want to see that again. So I'm going to wrap this up and just say that's kind of where I'm going with my channel. I don't know where I'm going to go with it fully, but that's what I'm going to push out. So if you guys are interested in any of that, subscribe, follow me. I've got my socials, so I'm on TikTok, everything with that. So thanks, guys.